Welcome back to the Friendly Geordies podcast, where we will be delving into territory that we don't normally tread into, especially on this specific broadcast, which is defending the Queensland Labor Party. So, you've recently...
Are you going to actually defend them?
Of course I am.
Fuck's sake.
If I won't, who will? Anastasia Palaszczuk? I think even she wants to lose.
Oh, that's how you pronounce her name.
What?
That's how you pronounce her name.
What did you think it was?
Palaszczuk. I just mixed Tanya Plevosek and... what was it?
Yeah, Jesus, if you thought Hermione was hard to pronounce. Fuck.
Yay.
Palish, yay. Okay, gotcha.
Palish, yeah.
One of the... I was reading...
Palish, hell yeah. Gets total majority.
Is she projected to win?
It's tight.
I don't know.
It's very, very tight, and I am very concerned about it.
So I was reading this article on the ABC today, which was about Queensland's renewable energy targets. So one of the things... So, by the way, this study that I was reading didn't include WA, so don't know what their stats or
I
anything
don't
are.
think it's a place anyway.
But Queensland produces the lowest number of renewables. It's
So
at the
strange.
point it's close to like I think around 11, 10 to 12%, somewhere.
I don't think
around
this is
that.
per capita, though. I'm pretty sure that New South Wales is the lowest.
Per capita. I don't know. I'm talking about in general because New South Wales is very, very close to Queen. So I think the difference between New South Wales and Queensland right now in 2020 is a difference of 0.4%. So
Go Queensland.
So I guess yeah, per capita New South Wales would be. But one of the things that this article was talking about was why this is the case. Well, because like obviously they make a lot of money from mining and whatever it was, and the Liberal government usually is in power, and they make sure that they don't subsidize renewables.
It's not usually in power, but when it was in power, it was devastating.
No, but like,
Just understand this. 3 years of the LNP is the equivalent to 9 years of the New South Wales Liberals.
we sidetracked, but what I wanted to ask you about was that I don't know a lot about this, and I tried to do some research, and the one thing that I understood was about the Queensland renewable targets. So obviously there's a lot of subsidy that goes into coal power generation over there. So there is a lot of coal power in the market grid. And one of the reasons why renewables hasn't taken off over there is this is what the experts that I was reading about were saying that, well, it's simple. You weren't giving enough subsidy to renewables and you were giving heavy subsidies to coal. So obviously coal renewables are not going
Let
to
me
be
just
able to...
reiterate this. Not Queensland Labor, LNP.
Yeah, LNP, sorry, initially. But what Queensland Labor did was, and this is where I want to get your opinion on this. So according to them, it's political kryptonite to remove subsidies from coal.
And it is.
So what
Right.
Anastasia is doing is that she's giving heavy subsidies to renewables. She's setting up these two massive plants. One of them is going to be wind powered and the other is going to be solar. And they're saying that by 2023, through this, we should be able to raise our renewable energy supply from whatever, like 10 to 12% to around 35 to 36%.
So a massive jump in 3 years.
That's what they're saying is going to happen, but they're also depending on the market. One of the other things that people are saying is like, okay, there's a possibility that renewables still might not be able to compete with coal because the coal is going to put heavy investment into making sure that this doesn't take off too well. So it's an estimate that they're going to reach over there. And Queensland Labor is basically just refusing to pick a big fight with mining companies. They're saying that that's going to just... we're not going to be elected again if we do
Can I
that.
just read this comment because it's really
And they're
apt.
right.
Can I read this comment? Terra Australis said, subsidies prove that the Libs and Nats don't actually believe in a free market. How can they even deny that?
Yeah, no, they don't. It's what like the old John Stewart point. It's socialism for the rich.
But it is.
But so why do you think? So do you think in like long term
about
that's a good strategy that you don't mess with the mining companies too much?
Of course. I think people really need to understand this. The mining industry is the invisible government of this country. Just like the weapons manufacturers in the US are the invisible government of the United States, we have our own. If you mess with the mining industry, you get Kevin Rudded. So what would you prefer? a government that is completely complacent with the mining industry, or one that tacitly governs in the interests of the people in an intelligent way? Because what the Greens are selling you in Queensland is a fantasy. They are saying, we're going to stop Adani. Well, that's good news. Something that wasn't going to get off the ground anyway is economically dead in the water. It's not getting built. And why? Because Queensland Labor was there saying we are not going to subsidise them, to the point that it got so bad that they can't compete anymore because global markets have shifted. The LNP and the Liberals might have secured fossil fuels future short term in Australia, but that's not what's happening worldwide. And that's where that coal is going, or isn't going now. Basically what the Greens are campaigning on in Queensland is we're going to do nothing. In other words, that's their main campaign drive, something that Labor, for political reasons, as it actually wants to attain government, as opposed to just winning a couple of seats, has been very strategic about. A lot of thought has gone into that, and as a result, you have Queensland moving away from massive land clearing and, of course, being one of the leaders in renewable energy. Sorry it took a while. That's what you get for electing fucking duckface Campbell Newman.